Great. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second executive brief in the series of 4 executive briefs that try to deliver to you as decision makers useful concepts about AI-driven initiatives. I'm Saurabh Bhargava, Principal Data Scientist at the Siwss Data Science Center, and today I want to highlight why do so many AI and data science initiatives fail to deliver real value. By the end of this brief, hopefully, I would be able to give you a clear and structured way to approach AI projects so that you can turn your technical potential into business impact. Slide 2. I need to approve it. Okay. According to an AI survey from Bain and Company, 66% of the executives, so every 2 in 3, are not satisfied with their progress in AI. This statistic is not only about technology being immature, but mostly about the organization lacking the right structure around the AI initiative. There seem to be two common reasons why this is happening. One is the lack of defined roles and responsibilities. The other is mainly because of the lack of structured methodologies that the companies follow. As a result, there's a disconnect between the technical metrics that the developers are interested in with the business return on investment that mostly the executives are interested in. So your developers might say that my model is achieving 95% accuracy, but this might not interest the executives, that they might say, hey, sorry, but I don't see any measurable benefit in my business. So one of the missions at SDSC is to close this so-called innovation gap by not only providing you the state-of-the-art AI knowledge and expertise, but also providing and helping the organizations like yours to find the right tools, processes, and the roles to ensure that AI initiatives at your organization deliver real impact. So in order to bridge the first gap, let's define the roles. So as you can see, there are multiple roles that are there in a typical data science team. For example, you have an internal side or the service provider side that has a project manager. Disclaimer, some people also call it product owner. Then you have the backbone of the data science team, the data scientist and the data engineers. There could be also other roles like solution architect. I'm not going in that direction. But then you have a client side, which has a project manager who knows the business, who knows what they want, what the company wants. So suppose you are working with someone else, then you are the internal side, and then this client side, you have a project manager as the contact person. Of course, these different roles have different skill set that they need to have the knowledge of. As you can see in the bottom of the slide, you have 3 skill sets: business knowledge, engineering, and data science. So the project managers naturally need to have a lot of business intelligence. They need to know what the business side wants. Plus, on top of that, the project manager on the service provider side or your internal team needs to bridge the gap between what the client wants and what your technical team understands. If this roles would not be defined, the problems that could arise is that some people might not know what to do and who has which responsibility, while there might be at the same time data scientists and data engineer doing redundant jobs, which might not be in the benefit of the company. Also, when these things fail and there are no clear responsibilities defined, there is a blame game that might start at the end, which you want to avoid. So before we even talk about these AI life cycles, I think it was very important to know about who is responsible for what. Now, I'll try to talk about the second gap, which is about choosing the right framework for executing your projects. So one of the frameworks that is widely used is called CRISP-DM, standing for Cross Industry Standard Processes for Data Mining, which consists of 6 different phases of a data science lifecycle, as you can see in the figure. as you can see, it begins with the business understanding. So it enforces the team to begin with the business needs rather than modeling, for example. And then as a next step, once the business side is clear, what the business and business requirements are clear to the stakeholders, you start with looking at your data even before doing the modeling. So you need to know what data is useful for you, what feature engineering you want to do, and so on. Then comes the data modeling phase, in which you actually try to model using the data and the chosen algorithm, and then you create a model. Of course, you might have heard that there's no correct model, or there are only useful models. So most of the models are wrong, but some are useful. And this is what you do in the model evaluation phase, which enforces the whole stakeholders to choose the right model that fits the problem. And once this is done, once all are happy that the model is performing well, you want to deploy the model, which means that you provide it provide it to the customers, the end users, to for the model to be used by the business side. So this model, this whole framework ensures that this model is used at the end, and not just the beautiful models are trained and just left aside. So, given said that, I would like to summarize that if you get the roles right and you follow these life cycle correctly, your probability of success increases dramatically. Using these proven frameworks like Prism DM and also Scrum, for example, gives your project a structure, which is very necessary to keep the teams aligned. It's also necessary that it reduces the risk, and the bridge between the technical and the business side reduces in this way. Also, by having a defined shared vocabulary and clear roles, you can have measurable success metrics that clearly, bridge the gap between the technical work and the business. Yeah, and last but not least, I would like to highlight that you can learn from the real world use cases, and you can avoid common pitfalls if you adapt these standard frameworks. And in this way, you can really you can really accelerate the AI adoption in your company and prevent yourself from being in that 66% statistic. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Saurabh. So this was a small information sharing that we are releasing to you as part of our course that is actually a larger educational program of 5 days for executives, managers who are working a lot with the teams that are analyzing data. And this is provided by the ETH Zurich. Specifically, we will have as data scientists who are working on the engagements in the industry to show you what type of the applied use cases there are, what are the methods, tools, and techniques that are used, so that we are doing, we have a great lessons learned directly from the applied side of the data science. So please expect a lot of learning, some of the hands-on, because we tailor this program to also tackle your business case. And in the end of this course, there is the ETH certificate also shared with the participants. What we would expect from you is your interest in data science projects. It's your 5 days of the commitment to come to the course and bring your laptop. Disclaimer, no code knowledge is expected to follow this course. We will teach you the basics that are needed. And besides this, you also will have more of the technical understanding and the vocabulary, how to communicate with your data science team in order to translate those business metrics, KPIs, into the data-driven metrics like accuracy, like, for example, recall, precision. All of this we are going to share what is actually relevant to the project. And as a small snapshot of what the program will look like, you can see it's a 5 days course between January 23rd and February 6th, so quite dense and compact. And it's filled with a lot of the learnings on the strategic part, on the business applications. You can see that there will be 8 use cases presented from our partners as well as SDSC team, and we will have the hands-on in the afternoons and throughout this period for you to put those knowledge into practice. So join us in this period, and why this is, we are doing also this little brief because we decided to offer a 10% end of the year discount, and we still have some places left. And the place where we will be teaching is in the Swiss AI Tower next to Oerlikon train station. If you will have any questions, shoot us an email. And yeah, we are here to support you in this impactful journey with the data science. So let's translate some of these insights to the real value for your projects. Thank you very much. Have a nice lunch break, and see you in our next session that will be given next week by our Executive Director of the Siwss Data Science Center, Olivier Verscheur. Thank you, everyone, and have a nice afternoon.